Okay, I'm jumping into Assetto Corsa on one of the A.L.O.O.G public servers. Now, the reason why this is interesting is because A.L.O.O.G run Minorating on their servers, and it's been going for a while, so it should be interesting to see how the Minorating affects people's driving. Are they still going to drive like lunatics, or will they behave themselves? Now, let's set the force feedback to something ridiculous. Why not? Still fiddling with force feedback settings. Actually, let's make sure we've got enough fuel to do the race. I didn't even do qualifying, we just jumped straight in. Well, let's assume that's enough fuel, and let's then just... Well, that'll do. That'll be fine. Whatever. We're just going for it. It's a cloudy day. It's a bit like Jurassic Park after the dinosaurs have escaped. But let's see. Let's see what happens. This could be very interesting indeed. Will people behave themselves, or will it be a disaster? Oh dear, the suspense builds. Of course, I'm driving with a T300 RS. I've picked the Ferrari in-game, and I'm using close sport V2 pedals, and people braking a bit early, but you know, start of a race, I'll just go wide to avoid them. Someone's tapped me in the back, but look, most of the grid have got through the first corner, and this is a public server race with 25 cars, 26 cars. Surely that's a miracle. So it would appear that Minorating is doing something reasonably effective. I honestly can't believe that I've started at the back of the grid here and got through with my legs intact. The following corners should be interesting. These are ones where people tend to outbrake themselves, go wide. There we go. Bit of an accident there, but you know, yeah, there was an accident and people lose it, but it wasn't ridiculous. I mean, I've been in a lot of iRacing races where people crash. Not, of course, in real life racing, people lose control on the first lap. It's pretty much where most crashes happen. The key thing is that people don't join the track like absolute lunatics after a crash. And so far, so good. I'm genuinely surprised that how good this is working. Well, smoke off him. Look at this. It really is a bit dingy. It's a shame that the weather's a bit dull in the game. I like to play games where it's nice and sunny, so it makes up for the English weather. Let's jiffy on through here. I really haven't practiced this car specifically on this track, especially after the AC update where they've changed the tyre models being changed, and aspects of this physics, suspension and force feedback have also been changed. There's quite a lot to get used to. Look at this guy right on the tail. I can see him in my mini TV. Oh, he's driven into my arse, but it's okay. We'll take that as a friendly nudge. He's still behind me. It was just a friendly kiss. He wanted to caress my bottom with his bonnet. That's okay. It's all good. Whoa, bit of a skid there. Wildly out of control for the last corner there, but it's all right. We're still in one piece. A little dent in the rear end, and also what's nice is the well, that was horrendous. Look at that understeer, lock up the brakes, absolute disaster. Would have probably damaged the tyres a little bit, but it's okay. What's also nice is people aren't driving too terrible as well. I mean, granted, this is my sort of first time in this car, this track properly since the update, so I'm miles off pace. I'm probably at least 3 or 4 seconds off pace, so that's horrendous. But a lot of the time, even if I'm just jumping into race room or anything, even with content that I've never driven before, you often find there's only 2 or 3 people that can drive at pace. With most people, not even being close. It seems here that people are driving fairly reasonable. I'm actually surprised at how good this is going. We've got old Bumper Sniffworth in the little TV there. Look at him right in our tail. He's trying to look for a place to pass. Will he drive us off the track? Looks like ISM in front Oh my god, he will drive us off the track. And I was saying all those positive things about Minorating. You still have people that... There's people that have absolutely no concept of overtaking, but... Oh well. We'll just put it down to that one guy. Everyone else seemed to be doing alright. Now, he could have been gaining on me a bit faster than he might have been expecting, because we've probably got half a ton of fuel in our vehicle, whereas everyone else will have clearly have fueled up the appropriate amount for the 8-lap race. And also, I think this is an open setup race, so I'm just running the default setup, so he might have a better setup. There's obviously no excuse to absolutely rampart your car into the back end of the guy in front of you. I mean, he could have easily just overtaken me on this. If he's faster, this part of the track is perfect for just zooming past someone safely. But yeah, other than that little incident that we'll ignore, this seems pretty good. Minorating to the rescue with public server racing with Assetto Corsa. Well, it's a Dakar rally here. There's dust everywhere. Will he let us through? Bounce over the curb? We can't get through anyway. So really, assuming that this race is indicative of your average Minnow racing race at this point in time with a well-configured server, all we really need with Assetto Corsa is some sort of track switch functionality. Hello, pushing me off into the wall. Let's hope he leaves me room. This is what we need virtual reality headsets for, so I can sense how far away the wall is from me. But yeah, at the moment, servers can't go from track to track, which is really what you need to maintain user numbers on a server, especially if you've got a server that has some kind of ranking on it that, you know, say you only wanted A, B and C drivers on your server. Oh, that was terrible. Missed that. Let's just abandon corner. Abandon corner! Fortunately, there's no track cutting rules on, otherwise we would have been penalised. Yeah, if you've got a server that's limiting the skill level of certain users, you don't want all those people disappearing when you change track. So what we found at the moment is like these A.L.O.O.G servers, they tend to just run a single track, which is normally Spa with the GT2 cars, because that's a general all-round track that seems to work alright. But what it needs is some sort of track rotation, so you could do, say, 2 or 3 8-lap races on one track, and then it rotates to the next track in the list and just keeps on going. And back in the day, on Live for Speed, on the Redline servers, for example, that's pretty much how they used to work. It'd be 3 or 4 races, short sort of 8-minute races, 6-minute races, and then you just go to another track. And for casual jump-in racing, for you know, getting a little bit of a racing fix, driving with other people, there's a bit of score tracking in it, your hot laps are tracked in it. It's a really good way of building up racecraft and just having a good time. You know, sim racing shouldn't always be about organising a league and being meticulous in preparing for everything. I mean, I can see how people enjoy that, and that's its own type of sim racing. But really, I think a broader appeal in sim racing is to offer people good quality races, but short races and on different tracks, so everyone can experience different content, different cars, and just have a server rotating through things. That would be superb. So I wonder if Kunos will ever do that. I don't know if they can do track rotations. I mean, it should be able to. I mean, you could do anything with a computer, but depending on how they set their system up, it might be more, you know, a lot of hassle. But this is pretty good. Now, we're settling into a bit of pace. I'm understeering again. Probably running on cold tires because I'm driving like a buffoon. But we've got 4 laps to go. 20th place. What a disaster. Let's see if we can catch up with these guys in front, though. I'm definitely going to do another race after this video. I literally just popped on this to do a quick test video on this A.L.O.O.G server, see how it would go, see how Minorating's progressed, get back into AC because I've avoided it a little bit recently because I didn't really like how the force feedback felt since the update. until I've just got some settings that I'm sort of happy with now with the force feedback, so it's not too bad. But I wasn't expecting this A.L.O.O.G server to be so good with its ranking. Hopefully we can we'll do the qualifying session. Oh my god, terrible. We'll do the qualifying session and get in the top sort of 8 or so, I would have thought, and that should be enough to avoid people like Mr. Red Car Crazy Man that took us out on that second lap. I've just noticed that my T300 isn't attached properly to my rig and it's rotating, it's pivoting due to the way I've mounted it to my rig, so I need to fix that as well and be a little bit gentle. I've absolutely ramped up the force feedback of the T300, probably at a sacrifice to force feedback fidelity, but it's allowing me to get nice quick rotations for the self-aligning, and it's also picking up some of the more subtle effects that seem to get a bit missed in AC if you don't turn your force feedback up. Well, I'm finding that anyway. Oh, has he lost it? Let's go wide just in case he has. I think he has. There you go. We need Oculus Rift again to look around the corner. Look, he's doing donuts. I can see him on my little mini TV there. Oh dear. Need to brake a little bit earlier. But yeah, really, really good. Sponsored by Coca-Cola, Spa. Let's go to the end of this race. Let's try and do some clean laps. Oi. I do really like it. A lot of the time with your force feedback, you don't want to set it up ridiculously strong, because what tends to happen is if you set it too strong in games, you get clipping, and if you set it too strong in your profiler, depending on the wheel you use, you'll get you'll just get a non-linear force feedback response. So the game will send out a certain signal, but it'll be a bit wonky as to what it should be. But I think sometimes it seems to depend from car to car, and then if you're trying to do hot laps, or if you're just having a casual blast, how much it pays off having the force feedback on strong. Sometimes I just like to ramp it all the way up and have a little bit of a workout, though. Compared to an AccuForce, for example, the T300 is pretty weak still. I think it's only about 3 or 4 newtons, whereas an AccuForce I think goes up to about 12 peak output. Oh, understeer off there. We're not driving this smooth at all. Oh no, we've absolutely knackered the tyres. What is nice with this T300 though is that the rim I've got on is the Ferrari GTE rim, and it lines up with the wheel in game with some of the Ferrari cars. It adds a tiny bit of immersion. Again, I'd much rather just have an Oculus Rift on and be looking at the car in-car steering wheel in full 3D. That to me is more important. But the actual feel of the GT rim that I'm using is just nice and round and chunky, which in some ways makes it feel a little bit more convincing than the G25. Though the rubber on it is a little bit sort of claggy to the touch, especially if you get sweaty hands. You feel a bit naff, but what are you going to do? On with the brakes, and again, not being smooth through here. We need to relearn the sort of force feedback signals to feel out the limit with AC since its update. With these GT cars, you really do have to be, well, with any car you have to be smooth, but with these especially, they're quite flat, dull cars. You really just need to be absolutely sort of glide through corners, be really delicate with it. Otherwise, you just lose bags of time. It would seem to me as well, since the update in AC, the brake distances have increased, or at least the amount of brake, the brake response has decreased. So I don't know if that's to do with brake temperatures or the tyres, how much grip they've got, and those changes. But you generally, it would seem that you have to brake a bit earlier than what you kind of got used to, or what I got used to prior to the 1.3 update. I think it's 1.3 now. It's like 1.304. Oh, I feel like the gear ratios need to be set up right as well. As we bog down through these corners. Oh dear. I feel like I'm skiing through slush. I'm driving this so bad. When you're on it with these GT cars, it can be quite satisfying because you just feel like you're cutting through the track just right. But when you're not on it, it's as if the track's turned into some kind of like slushy snow. It's just glooping around everywhere. Not because the physics have changed or the force feedback has changed, just because you're driving it wrong and you sort of know in the back of your mind that you're just losing all this time. Sweep through here. Abysmal performance. We are catching these guys though, so as long as we don't make a mistake. It seems that online a lot of people struggle with the sharper corners, so if we take these quickly, we'll catch them sure enough. We're in 16th at the moment, and maybe we can get 2 or 3 places before the end of the race. One of the really nice things with Minorating, or was it Minorank? I probably got it mixed up. One of the nice things with the rating system they put on this server is that not only do you have a safety rating score that accrues from different licenses from A to D, as long as you're within 20 meters of another car and just driving laps. On top of that, when you get, I think, within C rank license, you also get a sort of skill rating. Oops, we'll break earlier for that again. What's he doing? You also get a skill rating, so you can, after you're doing your races online, you can see if you're improving or if you're going downhill. And again, I just think stuff like that, it's just satisfying. It gives you a little bit more motivation to drive. And it's not necessarily motivation to drive. It's more actually just feedback. So you think, oh, I'm improving, or I need to do something to improve. One more lap to go, I think. We're on lap 7, so we've got one more lap after this. I'm just going to understeer off here again. Driving this so bad. On the fake grass there. Not too bad on this Spa track, actually. On Imola, since the update, especially in Assetto Corsa, the fake grass over the top of the hill, if you just touch it or put 2 wheels on it, it's really, really slippy. Whoops. On here, the fake grass doesn't seem too bad. It might just be because they're faster corners. Maybe this car's got a little bit of downforce, so it negates the slippiness of it. But it seems like you can just put your car on the fake grass and be perfectly fine. Ah, I really cannot wait for the consumer VI test to play this, because it's so much better. And when you get into these sort of situations here, where I'm basically just lapping on my own, I find them a little bit dull on a screen. You know, can be a little bit tiresome. But I find when you've got a VR headset on, I could be driving around a virtual recreation of Asda car park, and it'd be absolutely thrilling. Oh look, here we go, last lap excitement. I was talking about it being dull, and someone's lost control on one of the slow corners. See, they just have to set the force feedback up so they can tell what the car's doing. They've clearly set it up wrong. He's swiping really wide on that. Probably the good way to take it with these cars. They do seem to struggle to stick on that A.L.O.O.G. What's he doing? I think these guys had too much. It's the red guy that took me out earlier. What is he doing? Oh dear, why am I following him? What is wrong with me? This video could be titled "How Not to Drive." Maybe this guy is a crasher, which is strange because everyone else seems to be driving pretty well. Or maybe that's a different guy from before. It's fat as his abbreviation. Maybe that's what he's struggling with his vehicle. He's had too much to eat, and the mass of his body is causing his car to slop around. maybe he's driving with the Steam controller using the gyro. He's struggling to hold the gun line. We could be a keyboard racer, of course. Oh dear. But one of the nice things with Minorating is if you do get a guy that's driving with a keyboard or is just god awful or a crasher, it's not going to be long until they get automatically banned from a server. So, and I have to say, though I started at the back, the start of the race went pretty smooth. Just apart from that single guy driving into me like a buffoon, this has been a perfectly fine race. So I'm going to go for a quali and do a sort of more proper session whilst not recording and see how well it goes. But really, a really good sign for Minorating. Oh, look at this! Pipped! A really good sign for Minorating and how it improves racing. From last to 11th, not too bad. So there you go, Assetto Corsa 1.3 online on a rainy day. As I said, the dinosaurs had escaped the paddock and they were running wild somewhere in the distance. It always rains when the dinosaurs escape. But yeah, nice job with the Minorating, or Minorank, I completely forgot his name, but really good. You can see with these A.L.O.O.G servers, it really has improved the general quality of racing. And that makes all the difference if you're just going to do jumping racing. Just hope that there's some way for servers to be able to rotate tracks and then we'd be in sim racing jumping heaven. But thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll be doing more sim racing videos, more Assetto Corsa, more Race Room, getting back into the simulators after having a little bit of a break from them. See you in the next video we do soon. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Goodbye.